All right, guys, welcome in. Let's get started. So let me take a guess. You are out there generating leads, maybe running some ads, maybe your cost per lead is okay, but the quality is really bad. And it's having a ripple effect through your business. No-show rates are going up, cancellation rates are going up, close rates are going down. Maybe you're running organic and you're doing messaging and you're reaching out to the comments and likes and followers, but there's no response. They take whatever lead magnet that you offer them, but you never hear from them again. Why is this happening? Because trust is at an all-time low in the high-ticket industry right now. There's so many offers out there. There's so many choices. There's so much information out there that people are taking a lot longer to make a decision. They don't trust. Okay. This is the old high ticket buyer journey. You would put an ad out there, opt into your ad, and then they'd go see your VSL and then they would book a call. And that literally, happened within a few days. And when we ran ads, we had our 7-day window, attribution window, and we could scale ads a lot quicker. If you were doing organic, it looked like this. You put a post out there, maybe a 2-step or some kind of, hey, if you want this, let me know. And people would comment, you'd send it to them. You'd follow up the same day, usually the same day or the next day they'd book a call and then close within a few days. Does that still work? In some cases it might, but not for a majority of the leads that are out there. Now, the new high ticket buyer journey looks more like this. Leads opt in or raise their hand, and then you never hear from them again. And that's because they don't trust you. They don't know who you are. That doesn't mean that they're not interested. It just means now what you have to do is you have to implement what I call the elite marketing ecosystem. And this course is not about that. Okay. But I'm just going to zoom out here and this is what it looks like. And yes, there's a lot because all of these things create multiple touch points. And that's what you need to convert people now. You need multiple touch points. But here's what starts the whole thing. What determines the quality is the conversation that you're having with leads. What are you offering people to get them to make the decision to raise their hand? That's going to determine the quality of leads that end up in the rest of your funnel. The higher the quality, the more people are going to show up for calls. The higher percentage of people are going to close, the better type of clients that you get. The problem is that we have a lot of people in the space who are using the old methods. And the old methods are using lead magnets like PDF ebooks and real simple master classes. And don't get me wrong, those can still have their place. In fact, in my ecosystem, I encourage people to create multiple lead magnets and to use all of those things throughout this whole process. However, we have to start the top of the funnel. The initial conversation has to have a better, higher quality conversation. And what I'm talking about is we've got to help people get a transformation. And the way that we do that is by no longer talking about information. People have enough information. What they want is momentum. They want a result. And there's some points that I want to make here because I want you to understand really what has changed about lead magnets. Consumption does not equal progress. And what I'm trying to get a hammer home here is the people who trust faster are people who have a transformation, people who you can get a quick result for. People who can opt into something, get something, and a value out of it. The problem with things like ebooks and masterclasses is they're just information. And then it's up to that person to go and try to decipher and figure out what that means. If you have a really, really good offer in a blue ocean that has very little competition, that might be enough to get people to book a call. I have a few clients that have that exact formula. And yes, it is a little bit easier to run ads and run marketing for those people. But I also have clients that are in much more competitive markets that have a lot more volume. And what that requires them to do is to separate themselves out and create uniqueness. Okay. The other thing that you have to understand is your potential high ticket clients, they expect personalization. And I'm not talking about fake AI. I'm talking about real personalization, not generic PDFs anymore. Let me take a step back because I don't want you to think that I think you should abandon using PDFs. PDFs and ebooks and masterclasses and webinars, they are incredible tools for adding validation. Okay, what I'm talking about in this course, what I'm going to be hammering home is the need for you to get the attention of the right people. And that doesn't happen in a PDF or a webinar. It might get attention of some of the good people, but it's also going to attract a lot of really poor quality leads too. In this course, I want to help you come away from this with a real solid lead magnet that is going to have a real transformation for people. And these are the results that are going to create that belief. So by the time someone goes through your lead magnet, and I'm going to be building creating a custom quiz because quizzes are very easy to understand. People are used to going through them. I'm going to show you how you can create very specific personalized results for all of the leads that go through that. And hopefully what that will do is that it'll have an immediate impact on the quality of leads coming into your business. The volume, will hopefully stay the same. So your cost per lead will continue to be low, but at the same time, you're going to be attracting a better qualified person. And here's the most important thing. By the time they go through this lead magnet, come out the other end of it and get their personalized result. Ideally, what we should have done is pre-framed the sales call, pre-framed the next step of your funnel so that people are ready to take that next step and they're excited about it. And that is where the ripple effect happens in your business. That's when your no-show rate starts to go down, your close percentage starts to go up. So it means your cost for acquisition, your cost to acquire a new client goes way down. And that is because you're attracting the right people. So we're going to get into all of that in this course. But understand, the biggest thing about lead magnets is that information alone doesn't do it anymore, because there's information overwhelm. People have more access to information than they ever did before. And it's so much easier. They've got ChatGPT, you've got Google, you've got the social media. It's a constant bombardment of information. So what you're going to do in this course is you're going to learn how to separate yourself out by removing the information and providing a result. And that transformation that you're going to provide is going to immediately build trust. It's going to help build authority, and it's going to help you improve the results in your business throughout the entire funnel. Okay. All right, let's get started. I'll see you in the next lesson.